ukuthi umnumzana uMkhani njengoba evimba amaphoyisa, njengoba umnumzana uMkhani esho ethi ubekade emthengela nokudla, futhi kubonisa lokho ukuthi umnumzana uMkhani wayekade kumayenza ukuthi umnumzana uMkhani eze la enkantolo ethathe isifungo bese uphana ngobufakazi obungasilona iqiniso, ephana ngobufakazi buzofaka uNtanzi enkingeni ekuthini sonke lesikhathi lesi nangoNtanzi uyasho naye ukuthi umvikele emaphoyiseni bemshaya, futhi umnumzana uMkhani yena uthi umthengele ukudla, ukubonisa ukuthi wakade kuumuntu olungile, bengeke eze la enkantolo ezophana ngobufakazi obungasilona iqiniso. Manje ke uthi ummeli umshushisi yena uyacela ukuthi konke okubhalwe kulezi incwadi ezama occurrence book kwamukelwe, futhi nomnumzana uMngomezulu uye wavuma wathi lokho akusiyinto ephikiswayo. Kukhulunywe lokho nge-27 zika October nyakenye ukuthi akuphikiswa zonke izinto ezikwi-OB, ekuchaza ukuthi nalokhu kokuthi abasolwa bona bafakwe esitokisini bekade bengalimalanga akusiyizinto eziphikiswayo, njengoba kuthiwa lokho izinto ekuthi aziphikiswa, phecelezi they are not in dispute. Manje ke kuye kwashiwo ukuthi kubhaliwe nalapho kwincwadi ukuthi lezo incwadi zingahle zithathwe zifakwe njengobufakazi, njengoba kunamaphepha amaningi asewasetshenzisiwe njengobufakazi. Futhi uye wafunda ke umthetho thizeni uma sekaqedelela umnumzana ukubhalwe, wafunda umthetho thizeni ukuthi konke okubhalwe kwincwadi zamaphoyisa, i-occurrence book, ama-register lawa asetshenziswayo emaselini, nama-pocket book asetshenziswa amaphoyisa, konke okubhalwa lapho umthetho wona uthi kwamele yonke into ebhalwe lapho iyamukelwe eyinkantolo njengobufakazi obuqinile, ubufakazi obuyiqiniso, ngoba akubonakala ukuthi amaphoyisa bangahle babhale izinto ekungasizona ezenzakele. Leso sinqumo leso sathathwa uJudge Mills ekuthi uye wakhuluma kwelinye icala elithizeni. Futhi into ebonakalayo kuleli cala ukuthi yonke into ebekade amaphoyisa bayibhala bekade kuyiqiniso, ngoba bebangenaso isizathu sokuthi bangahle bakhulume amanga ngezinto ekuthi ziyenzakele. Uma sibuyela futhi kummeli uMjiyakho wayekade ekhona laphayana la umsolo wayekade egonyuluka khona phambi kwamantshi, futhi nasenkantolo ummeli uMjiyakho wayekade ekhona, wafika futhi nasesiphoyiseni ngoMeyi ku-2020 la ukuthi uye ngoMeyi ku-2022 la ukuthi uye wayokhulumisana nomsolwa bekade umsolwa yena wafika watshela uBrigadier uGininda ukuthi nangu ummeli wami, etshelwa umsolwa wesibini. Kuye wafika naye uBrigadier Gininda washo ukuthi ummeli ufike ngaziswa mina umsolwa wesibini ukuthi ummeli wakhe njengoba ubekade emazi umsolwa wesibini, nale kumantshi kuthiwa wayekade ekhona ngalesikhathi ugonyuluka. Lo mmeli uMjiyakho kube bekade kunento ebekade ingekho emthethweni eyenzakele laphaya ehhovisi likamantshi, ukuthiwa ummeli bekwamele aphakame athi cha, Nkosi yenkantolo, lento ewuyibhalayo noma lento esanda kudolikelwa umsolwa ongimmele akulona iqiniso. Lezi zinto ebezikade zibhalwa laphayana bekade kuyiqiniso. Umsolwa wesibini, umsolwa wokuqala naye ithe ngemva kokuthi afundelwe yonke into ebekade ibhaliwe, uye wathi cha, ngicela ukuthi la nilungise ngoba niyenze impazamo. Bekazothi kulungiswe njani uma ingabe istatement esilethwe kuye kuthiwa sayinda lesi statement, impazamo bekazoyibona kanjani uma ingabe bekangafundelwanga lesi statement. Manje uthi umshushisi kubonakala ukuthi umsolwa ufundelwe, umsolwa wokuqala ufundelwe lesi statement, futhi umsolwa wesibini naye kuthiwa lesi statement lesiyana wayekade esazi, futhi ayikho into engahambanga ngendlela ukuya ngomthetho, ngoba ummeli loyana uMjiyakho uye wakhipha naye incwadi ebekade eyinika umantshi ukubonisa ukuthi ungummeli yena ubekade emela umsolwa wesibini, futhi wabonakala nasenkantolo ePhokeng, wabonakala enkantolo nase-Boksburg, wabonakala futhi libele emele umsolwa wesibini. Kuthiwa ke uthi umnumzana uBhalwe uyacela ukuthi ubufakazi bale kuyagonyuluka obukade bulethwe enkantolo bubhalwe umantshi uKronje uthiwa kucelwa ukuthi buamukelwe njengobufakazi futhi kubonakala ukuthi akuzange kube nento eye umnumzana uMjiyakho wayiphikisa njengoba kwakade kungenalutho obekade kusolisa khona lapho. Futhi uyacela ukuthi umnumzana uBhalwe uyacela ukuthi bonke lobufakazi lokugunyuluka kwamukelwe yinkantolo njengobufakazi bezinto ezenzakele, izinto ukuthi abasolwa baye batshela amaphoyisa baphinda futhi batshela nomantshi izinto ebezikade ziyenzakala. Manje uyacela umnumzana uBhalwe ukuthi lokho kuthathwe njengobufakazi bezinto ukuthi ziyenzakele, izinto ukuthi ziye zabhalwa ngemva kokuthi zikhulunywe zitolikwe nangabo abasolwa. Ukuya ngomsolwa wokuqala akuzange kube notoliki kumaphoyisa ngenxa yokuthi amaphoyisa nomsolwa wokuqala bebakade bezwana ngolimi. Umantshi uKronje kuye kwaba notoliki ngenxa yokuthi umantshi ebekade ekhuluma isingesi, ingakho kuye kwaba notoliki obekade ezotolika lezinto ebezikade zikhulunywa umsolwa. Futhi ke umnumzana uBhalwe uma sekasukuma namhlanje uthi uyacela ukuthi ubufakazi bamukelwe, ubufakazi bamaphoyisa ngoba uKenneth Mbotho yena uye wachaza ukuthi uye waqeqeshwa ukuthi kube uKenneth futhi wabekwa eRandburg. Naye uKenneth Hadebe uye waphana ngobufakazi ebubonisayo ukuthi naye wayekade kuumuntu obekanegunya lokuthi angathatha ukugunyuluka noKenneth Rapad naye babonakalisile ukuthi bangaba ngabantu abangathatha ukugonyuluka. Lokho ngamafuphi ikona into ebezikade zikhulunywa umnumzana uBhalwe kundamalanga amabili. Ngithe ngiyisonke ngingathathi imini yonke ngenxa yokuthi nabameli nabo kwamele anizwana kahle nizwe. All are accused understands, my lord.
Okay,
and I
thanks.
Summarize. Thank you, my lord.
My lord, I'll request the court to bear with me because I'm going to make submissions orally.
I thought these were your hits.
Yes, my lord, I was going to supplement some.
Oh, yeah. You
Yes.
can already do that. Fine, no problem.
That's correct. And further, my lord, it's an agreement between myself and Mr.
And?
Ramsey Pidi. It's an agreement between myself and Mr. Ramsey Pidi
Yeah.
that I'll make submissions for both accused number 1 and number 2 because I participated in the cross-examination of the state witnesses.
I'm going to allow it, but you know it's not allowed. You know that.
Court pleases, my lord.
Yeah, because you just told this court that your instructions were confirmed exclusively for Mr.
Sibia.
Sibia,
Correct, my lord.
and that his instructions were terminated by Sibia or Legality, whatever.
That's correct.
Yeah, but look, I'm just pointing it out so that
Yes.
if it goes anywhere, they mustn't say I wasn't aware of it.
Court pleases.
So if you have made that agreement, fine, you can go ahead.
Thank you for the indulgence. May I commence my argument by saying, my lord, accused number 1 was arrested on the 30th of May 2020 in Tembisa. He was arrested by Sergeant Mkhola, Constable Sadike and Constable Buteles at Vusumuzi section. My lord, this is not the arrest of accused number 1 that has been placed on record. During his testimony, he gave evidence that he was arrested on the 19th of March 2019 in Tembisa on the allegations of the death of Senzo Meyiwa. And he was taken to Chlorocop for interrogation, and he was then released after the officers that were in the office had a discussion, and he was not charged. On the 30th of May 2020, when he was arrested by Sergeant Mkhula, accused number 1 was arrested on the strength of a J50. And it is the evidence by Sergeant Mkhula that she was the investigating officer in the drug case, possession of drugs, under case number 2173 of 2019. When accused number 1 was approached in the execution of the warrant, he was then taken actually Constable Buthelezi wanted to find his identity, to prove his identity by asking accused number 1 to produce his identification certificate or document. They went to his shack, so where they gained access to the shack. Accused number 1, at that time, during the arrest, he told the court that he was in company of other 2 gentlemen who were in a particular yard when they spotted a motor vehicle which was parked in the opposite side of the street from where they were standing, and they were approached by the officers, they were approached. Later they discovered that they were the police officers. They were ordered to lie down, and that's when he gave evidence that he was handcuffed from behind when he was on the ground, and he was lifted up with the handcuffs. That's how he was arrested. He was then, as they were going to the place where he resides, they wanted to find out, or they asked, Sergeant Mkhula asked, as to who does he reside with in that address or the place where accused number 1 is residing. He was, according to his version or his evidence, sorry my lord, according to his evidence, he was taken to Litabong, a place next to a municipality area where he says he was assaulted and he was interrogated and asked about the death of Senzo Meyiwa. He was then brought back because the state laid evidence that he wanted to change the trouser on the basis that it was a Brentwood, and Constable Buthelezi even mentioned that that trouser was dirty, and in contrast to what Sergeant Mohola said was that the trouser was expensive. That's why he wanted to change the trouser. The evidence of accused number one is that he messed himself up. That's the reason why he wanted to change the trouser. Accused number one testified that before, my lord, he was taken, before the evidence of taking accused number one to forced Loras, there is evidence by Sergeant Mohola that accused number one was taken to Vusimuzi Hostel after he was found with the unlicensed ammunition magazines to give information relating to a firearm. That's where they went to Vusimuzi Hostel. In Vusimuzi Hostel, they spoke to people that were of no assistance because they did not come to testify. What is of essence is that during the cross-examination of Sergeant Mohola, it has been canvassed by the defense that accused number one, on the arrest that was effected on the 30th of May 2020, was unlawful and wrongful on the basis that the warrant of arrest, the J50, was challenged. The legitimacy of the J50 was challenged by the defense. Before this honorable court, which I will also argue later, my lord, is that there was no evidence presented by Sergeant Mohola, the affidavit to be precise, in support of the application for the granting of the J50 warrant of arrest. That is the submission that I'll also make at a later stage, my lord. The reason why we contend, the defense contends that the arrest was unlawful, it will prove that certain rights of accused number one were violated by depriving him of his liberty, which is protected by our South African constitutional law, Act 108 of 1996, precisely under Section 30. Sorry, may I just rephrase that one. My lord, furthermore, during the course of the evidence of Sergeant Mohola, Sergeant Mohola indicated that, or testified that, she called Sergeant Munareng security so that they can take accused number 1 to Basutwini Hostel. And she further made a call to Brigadier Kininda to say she had a discussion with accused number 1, and it came to her attention as if accused number 1 is making admissions. Then it is her evidence that Brigadier Kininda instructed them to take accused number 1 to Vosloorus police station, where eventually accused number 1 met with Brigadier Kininda. I would like to point it out that when Brigadier Kininda interrogated accused number 1 at Vosloorus police station, there is no evidence before this court that he was in possession of a case docket 63610 of 2014. The evidence
Sorry,
by...
just for my understanding,
Yes.
you can't interrogate somebody or a suspect if you don't have the docket.
That's correct, my lord. That's how I understand
Okay,
law.
fine.
That's correct. The evidence that was given by Brigadier Kininda is that he had, or he was in possession of his diary, where he recorded things that occasioned on the 30th of May 2020 in Vosloorus. The emphasis on the docket and the requirements will later be argued, but what is of essence is that during the interview of accused number 1 by Brigadier Kininda, he was next to the police station. And the material that he could have used got that material from the police station in Vosloorus. This will relate to the warning statement, and this will also relate and be relevant in relation to the SAP 3MM. Then, after the interrogation, after Mr. Kininda or Brigadier Kininda confirmed that it appeared that accused number 1 wanted to make a confession, and he assessed his demeanor, he then made several calls to get an independent person to assist in the taking of a confession. And he managed to get Colonel Mboto, whom he requested to assist. And according to his evidence, Colonel Mboto requested that they should bring accused number 1 to Diepkloof police station. It's evidence before this honorable court that eventually accused number 1 was taken to Diepkloof police station by Colonel Mboto in order to take the alleged confession.
But is that correct, sir?
That's correct, ma'am.
When you say he was taken to Diepkloof police station by Colonel Mboto?
No, I say I rephrased that, my lord, with due respect.
Yeah.
I said sorry, but he was taken to Diepkloof police
Yeah, fine,
station.
fine. I'm just-
Yes.
okay.
Court, please. After the state led evidence that a confession was taken, then accused number 1 was booked in Villeria. That was now in the early hours of the 31st of May 2020, as per the records of the occurrence. Charged with possession of unlicensed ammunition and magazine under cast number 1/06/2020. This evidence, sorry my lord, accused number 1 after he was charged, then it appeared that there was an information to be followed up as per the confession or the contents of the confession, to make a follow-up on the traditional healer, and it's evidence that accused number 1 was told to sleep on this so that he will be taken to point out the traditional healer. When accused number 1 was booked out by Sergeant Mukhani, and the investigating officer, Sergeant Mukhola, of the docket 217/03/2019. He was then taken to Pambridge, where the state alleges that he pointed out the traditional healer. And my lord, it's evidence of the state that on the 1st of June 2020, accused number 1 appeared in Tembisa Court, Tembisa South. It was his first appearance. Then the matter was remanded to the 8th of June 2020. The state further led evidence that on the 5th, accused number 1 was booked in Albertine police station for the purpose of pointing out a particular place and the state led evidence of Colonel Khateb, who assisted in the pointing out. My Lord, then there was evidence that was led by the state that he was taken to Mahlabatini for the verification of the address, and in the evidence that the state has led, there was a version that was put by accused number 1 to the state witnesses. As the court has permitted me, as per my request, I will get into the arrest of accused number 2, my Lord. Accused number 2, Bongani Sandi Sontanzi, was arrested on the 16th of June 2020 in Rustenburg. May I just confirm? Yes, in Rustenburg, my Lord. He was arrested by Constable Mabena and Sergeant Mukhane at his place of residence. After he was arrested, he was taken to Pretoria Mort. When he was taken for Pretoria in...
Sorry, is it not something preceding that?
Yes, I'm getting there. I just
Oh, I
want
see,
to
okay.
draw the relevance
All
of
right,
that.
okay.
The reason why he was taken there is because they arrested him on the basis that he is involved in the case, in murder case of Kwanongoma under case number 163, 10 of, sorry, 163, thank you. It's case number 16310 of 2018, my Lord. And the state led evidence that he was booked in Pretoria Mort, as it has been recorded on the occurrence book that it was a transit, which means he was kept with the purpose of being taken to the place where the offense was committed. He was detained. Then the following day, the 17th, there was an interview of accused number 1, of accused number 2, my Lord, in a boardroom where Sergeant Mabena, Sergeant Mukhona, and Mr. Mukhane, Sergeant Mukhane, interviewed accused number 2 in relation to his whereabouts on the 26th of October 2014. Accused number 2 told them, said he was at work, so that's why they had to make a follow-up. He was booked back, but informed that the following day he would be booked out to Carltonville, where accused was employed. On the 18th of June 2020, accused number 2 was booked out to verify the information that he has given to them at his workplace at Silver Mines, Sibanye, Still Waters. There was evidence led by the state to the effect that they went to his employers and get certain information regarding his whereabouts, and it's evidence of the state that at a later stage, they were joined by Brigadier Kininda, who was in company of Sergeant Mhola. Sergeant Kininda at that time also interviewed accused number 2, and then Brigadier Kininda and Sergeant Mhola left. Accused number 1 with Sergeant Mohane and Constable Mapena. Evidence by the state, my lord, further that Sergeant Mohane, as he was conveying accused number 2, they then drove to Albertine for the purpose of investigating certain other cases. And when they went to Albertine, that's when he was asked confronted during cross-examination about the stoppage next to engine garage, as per the version of accused number 1 at that time. Then Sergeant Mohane vehemently denied that they stopped near an engine garage, and there were witnesses that were called by the state who also denied being next to an engine garage during the conveyance of accused number 1 in a white Toyota Fortuner. In my the records will prove that Constable Jonathan denied having been next to the engine garage. Constable Buthelezi also denied, including Constable Mapumul. The person was canvassed by the defense as to why was he not booked in before you do your own investigations. An answer was given by Sergeant Mohola is that accused number 2 was bored. Mohane, not Mohola, sorry. He was bored, so that's the reason why they had to travel with him. It's evidence that accused number 2 was booked back to Pretoria Mort in the early hours of the 19th of June 2020. It was 20 to 2 in the morning, as per the occurrence. Few minutes or few hours later, accused number 2 was booked out again. The reason for booking him out, according to the evidence of Sergeant Mohane, was to take him to Foslorus, because he was booked out under cast number. Proceeding to Sergeant Mohane gave evidence that they drove to Moroka police station. And the evidence of the state is that accused number 2 made a confession in front of or before Colonel Rappard, which has been denied by accused number 2. My Lord, may we
What time is it now?
Yes.
What time is it?
11:15. May I just go? It's 11:17, my Lord.
Okay, come back.
What?